What if I told you that 40% of everything you do today isn't actually a decision? It's a habit. That means right now, your life is running on autopilot. The question is that autopilot taking you where you want to go or somewhere you never intended? Today, I'm going to walk you through the ultimate guide to building better habits. And by the end of this video, you are fully coming and showing automational flame work. Not actually a bury a second, I am entirely dealing the way to create. Now, all right, before we can build better habits, we need to understand how habits actually work. And the best framework for this comes from Charles Duhigg's research, popularized in his book, The Power of Habit. Every habit follows what he calls the habit loop. 3 parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is the trigger. Maybe it's your morning alarm. The routine is the action. You grab your phone and scroll social media. And the reward, you feel a little dopamine hit from the new content. Here's the key insight. You can't just eliminate a bad habit. You have to replace the routine while keeping the cue and reward the same. So instead of scrolling social media when you wake up, you could replace it with reading 1 page of a book. Same cue, same reward of mental stimulation, but a completely different outcome over time. Section 2. Start absurdly small, now. Here's where most people fail. They get motivated on January 1st and say, I'm going to work out for an hour every single day. And by January 12th, they're back on the couch. Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg has spent decades studying behavior change, and his biggest finding is this: start tiny. Not small, tiny. Want to build a reading habit? Don't commit to 30 pages a day. Commit to reading 1 page. Want to start meditating? Don't do 20 minutes. Do 1 minute. This works because it eliminates the friction. Your brain resists big changes, but 1 push-up, my phage, that's almost nothing. And here's the magic. Once you start, you almost always do more. But the commitment is just the minimum. Fogg calls these tiny habits, and in his research, people who started this way were 67% more likely to maintain the behavior long-term compared to those who set ambitious goals from day 1. Section 3. Habit stacking. Okay, so you've got your tinier habit. Now where do you put it? This is where habit stacking comes in, a concept popularized by James Clear in Atomic Habits. The formula is simple. After I, current habit, I will. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will write 1 sentence in my journal. After I sit down at my desk, I will take 3 deep breaths. After I brush my teeth at night, I will lay out my gym clothes for tomorrow. The reason this works so well is that your existing habits already have strong neural pathways. You're essentially hitching your new behavior onto something your brain already does automatically. It's like using a highway that already exists instead of building a new road from scratch. Studies show that implementation intentions like these can increase follow-through rates by up to 300%. That's not a typo, 300%. Section 4. Environment design. Here's something that might surprise you. Willpower is wildly overrated. Research by Wendy Wood at the University of Southern California found that people with strayed habits don't have more discipline. They've designed their environment to make good behavior easy and bad behavior hard. Want to eat healthier? Put fruits on the counter and hide the chips in a high cabinet. Want to reduce screen time? Charge your phone in another room. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow every morning. You're not fighting your environment, you're using it. Think of it like this. If you want to eat less junk food, which is easier, summoning the willpower to resist cookies sitting on your counter, or simply not buying cookies at the store. Environment design is about removing the need for willpower in the first place. Section 5. The 2-minute rule and identity shifts. Alright, I want to combine 2 powerful ideas here. First, the 2-minute rule from James Clear. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Do yoga becomes write out my yoga mat. Study for class becomes open my textbook. The goal is to master the art of showing up. Because here's the truth. Every expert was once a beginner who just kept showing up. And this connects to the second idea, which is arguably the most important one in this entire video: identity-based habits. Don't focus on what you want to achieve, focus on who you want to become. Instead of saying, "I want to run a marathon," say, "I'm the type of person who doesn't miss a workout." Instead of "I want to read more books," say, "I'm a reader." When your behavior becomes part of your identity, it no longer feels like something you have to do. It becomes something you naturally do. Section 6. Tracking and recovery. Okay, let's talk about accountability. Research from the American Society of Training and Development found that if you commit to someone that you'll do something, your probability of completing it is 65%. But if you set a specific appointment to check in with that person, it jumps to 95%. So find an accountability partner, join a community, or simply track your habits visually. A simple habit tracker, even just marking a X on a calendar, creates a visual chain that you don't want to break. But here's the part nobody talks about. You will miss a day. And when you do, follow the never miss twice rule. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Recovery is part of the process, not a sign of failure. Conclusion. So let's bring it all together. Building better habits isn't about motivation or willpower. It's about having a system. Understand the habit loop. Start absurdly small. Stock your habits onto existing routines. Design your environment for success. Show up for 2 minutes. Shift your identity. And track your progress while forgiving your slip-ups. The compound effect of these small changes is staggering. James Clear put it best. If you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. That's the power of habits. They're not about massive transformation overnight. They're about tiny, consistent wins that build a life you're proud of. If this video helped you, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow and lets me keep making content like this. Subscribe if you want more practical videos on self-improvement, productivity, and personal growth. And drop a comment below. Tell me one tiny habit you're going to start today. I read every single comment and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.